But let's continue moving on. Let's go to your team out west, the Los Angeles Lakers, finally getting rid of Russell Westbrook.
Yes, we are finally. I can finally tolerate watching my team play again. Because let me tell you, these last 2 years, I wasn't watching the games like that. I couldn't. It was just bad basketball, poor spacing, no defense, bad shot selection. I'm like, what the hell is this? But finally, we got rid of the problem. Well, the main problem. Not to say that. Let me just be clear. I like Russell Westbrook, but I said from the moment we made that trade for him, that might be the worst trade I've ever seen in my life, because I knew that wouldn't work. So if I know it doesn't work and I don't even play basketball, why the hell would LeBron gonna push for that? And why would Pelinka agree? Like, dog, y'all are basketball minds. Y'all around this stuff every day. Like, I'm just a regular guy who just talks about basketball and watches basketball, but I watch basketball enough to know that would never ever work.
Like, just from geometry on the floor, it's just like, hey, you need some type of spacing here around LeBron, around AD. Like, these are two guys that are dominant with the ball, that can command double teams. You're going to need somebody to space the floor and knock down shots. That's how they won the championship. Have a bunch of defensive players around you and guys that can knock down shots. That's how they won the championship. They stripped all of that away for Russell Westbrook, and I'm like, the world was like, why did they do that? And then I was like, of course, I like Russell Westbrook, so I'm like, I don't want to see this guy fail at another stop, right? We saw him in Washington. We saw him in Houston. I'm like, I don't want to see him fail, even if it's the Lakers. I want him to play. Turned around his play this year, but it still just wasn't enough for the Lakers to make a positive impact out west. But in this trade, they get D'Angelo Russell back, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt. The Timberwolves are getting Mike Conley and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Utah gets Russell Westbrook, Juan Toscano-Anderson, Damian Jones, and a 2027 first-round pick. I think is 1 through 4 protected from the Lakers. So a deal that works out in my mind for the Lakers in Minnesota, but Utah is basically just shedding guys, shedding cash, and trying to figure things out. But the main thing, Russell Westbrook out of LA, getting D'Angelo Russell back. The Lakers also got a couple other guys there. I can't remember. They made a trade for Mo Bamba as well, adding different dynamics to your roster. Traded Thomas Bryant out to Denver, opening space for Mo Bamba coming in. So the Lakers are definitely making a modernized team a little bit, having shooting, having spacing, having a big man that can protect the rim next to Anthony Davis. So the Lakers definitely making some moves, man. But how do you feel about D'Angelo Russell coming back in that situation?
How do I feel? Well, again, I think it's going to be an upgrade from Westbrook. But to be clear, he's not a better player than Russell Westbrook. He just fits better with with how AD and LeBron play. We have a space, another ball handler. I think will make better decisions than Russ did in the clutch. A far better shooter from three. That's going to allow Braun to attack the rack, and AD to like do a thing in the paint as well too. So it just opened up the game for, like you said, the modern NBA. So in that case, it's a plus. Now we all know what happened last time he was there. He was like number 2 overall by Magic Johnson. Got traded out with that once the incident happened with him and Swaggy P. Has he learned from that? I would think so. I mean, how long was that? Like 5 years? Yeah,
he's been around enough to. He's been around enough to.
Yeah, so hopefully he learned from that and he'll make the most of this second chance in LA.
Yeah, I think it's a good move for LA in terms of spacing. I don't know about the shot selection because I saw in Minnesota where it was like sometimes you need to just give Anthony Edwards the ball and let him get that. So I think there's going to be a different element. He's playing with a different level of talent. You're playing with LeBron James. You're playing with Anthony Davis. I think he's going to fall in line and be a real good soldier for the Los Angeles Lakers. Definitely an upgrade, ability to space the floor, and he's still able to get his own shots when called upon. So I think that's a different element that the Lakers didn't have, especially with the spacing and shot creation. But also Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, Mo Bamba. They have NBA players on their roster. Sometimes the Lakers are putting guys in. I'm like, who the hell is that?
Don't remind me. Don't remind me. I know.
I'm like, yo, like they're bringing in people. I'm like, yo, who are these people? To sit there and you see Lonnie Walker there. You see Rui Hachimura, who they also added. So it's like at least they have some NBA players. There's actually going to be some type of direction. Now I think it's just if the Lakers can make a run here. They are in 13th place, but everything's close out west. So they were never really out of it. Like, that's the one thing about the Lakers. Like, I even thought about, I'm like, all they need to do is just put a good run together, and they're like a top seed in the Western Conference. It's not out of the realm of that, but to actually add NBA players here and have some stability, have some actual fact, like logic on the basketball court, player-wise, roster-wise, personnel-wise. I think Darvin Ham is relieved. He doesn't have to deal with the Russell Westbrook situation. Of course, there was a report that him and Russell Westbrook were arguing after last night's game, after LeBron broke the record.
Yeah, what did you think about that? I'm curious.
Them arguing, like, what? Say that again, sorry.
Yeah, them arguing. What do you think about that?
I thought, like, especially as a stronger personality as Russell Westbrook, because I'm going to expect that. But he's been arguing with assistant coaches, and especially last night, it's like, I'm expecting that, right? I'm expecting Russell Westbrook, and Darvin Ham is strong enough coach I've seen in his press conferences and the way he talks and the way he goes about it. He's not afraid of confrontation. So to see that and understand what's going on, I'm like, I'm not surprised by that. But especially right before the trade deadline, I think that might have been the final nail in the coffin. Like, they were like, all right, we can't have you doing that here. We can't, like, I think it was better for everybody just to sever ties. And that's what the Lakers did with this trade, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, I always said that I felt like he was headed down the path where he'll get the AI treatment after his contract is over. I said this like about 2 or 3 years ago. Now, to his credit, he did a good job, I thought, like accepting that 6-man role, embracing that, coming off the bench, unlike the likes of like AI or Melo. But after that, I heard that report last night. I'm like, damn, man, he really might be done after this season. But we are hearing now that if he gets bought out by Utah, which is more than likely, some suitors may include the Clippers and the Heat. So he may have if that happens, he may have a chance to redeem himself yet again. But I just hope that, I hope he's in the league going forward, because he's a good talent.
Yeah,
he may be hard to deal with. It's hard to incorporate it into an offense. You need a specific team around him, but he should be in the league.
Yeah, he's never, to me, Russell. I love Russell Westbrook, especially after Kevin Durant left, especially that whole MVP season, him just going out and being a renegade. He's never cheated the game. Like, there's all the other question marks you can have about his attitude, his IQ on the floor, his turnovers, whatever the case may be. He's never cheated the game of basketball. When he's out there, he's playing 110%. He's going after it. As wild and reckless as it be, I respect that over anything else. Like, as long as he's trying, I'll take that. For better, for worse, and unfortunately, it was for worse for the Lakers. They got rid of him. So, especially with him going to Utah, I was thinking of that trade. I'm like, don't he have issues in Utah with the fan base? I'm like, so obviously it was eventually maybe with the fans and stuff like that, especially in that series that they had in a couple years ago when they got eliminated. But to sit there and see Russell Westbrook, it's like, is this going to be a player where they just tell him to go home? Like, just eat your bread right now, or actually buy him out and give him a chance to, especially with, they need point guard help. They need some type of boost there. They got rid of Reggie Jackson to Charlotte, who's going to be bought out of Charlotte as well. They sent John Wall to back to Houston. So to see Russell Westbrook potentially be back in LA, like he didn't really leave, like he just walked across the hall, technically, right? So that's going to be interesting to see, and I think that's going to be a different element to the Clippers if he's bought there. Miami, I don't know how that fits. I mean, Kyle Lowry is still there. I don't know how he's going to fit there.
He has
being a backup.
He kind of is a Heat player. He has that, that rugged mentality. Go hard, nonstop. He fits it.
And if there's anybody that can channel that, right, it's Pat Riley, right? It's Eric Spoelstra, right? They've dealt with difficult personalities, tough personalities, and once you're brought in there, you're like, no shit, we're not dealing with all that other bullshit, extracurricular shit. You're here to work. Russell Westbrook is one of the hardest workers there. I don't know how that's going to fit team-wise, but it's like, if there's anybody that can run and try to harness it, after we see Darvin Ham do that this year with Russell on the bench, Miami can possibly do that. But I think a big opportunity for him to go to LA with the Clippers. He needs some type of energy boost into that franchise, into that team right now. It looks like they're just lackadaisical. And I'm like, especially after watching the other game last night, it's like they need somebody that's going to push the pace, make things happen. And I feel like they're so complacent in what they do. It's like, especially with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, being in and out. Russell Westbrook's going to show up every day. That's the one thing we know about him. He's going to show up every day. He's going to give it his all. So to see those potential options open up for possible Russell Westbrook, I think that's really good for him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I wanted Russ. I was perfect with just letting Russ play out his contract, letting that $47 million.
Yeah, we did talk about that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But that is what it is.
I mean, to flip it how they did, right? Like the Lakers to turn this around and actually have like some stability, right? Like some actual NBA players. Kudos for them. As much as I don't like the Lakers, I want to see y'all fail. I was laughing at y'all all season. We'll see if you guys can turn it around. LeBron James is still playing at a high level. When Anthony Davis had those good couple of weeks, he was playing at the MVP level. Something there. Like you guys have two guys that can get it done. Now you guys add some stability around them, some depth actually on the bench there. Jared Vanderbilt's a nice player. Malik Beasley's a real good player. So it's like you guys have something rather than a clusterfuck. You know what I mean? So
yeah, man. And
I'm pretty sure everything.
And if D'Angelo doesn't work out, there's some issues going on there with chemistry. He's a free agent in the summer too, so we don't necessarily have to sign him again. We can, maybe Kyrie's available. Maybe Kyrie wants to come to LA in the offseason. Who knows?
I was thinking that because I was like, yo, if Dallas does not give Kyrie a deal, that money's off the table now with Russell Westbrook on, right? Like that there was going to be that cap. They can find a way to get Kyrie Irving, maybe even a sign and trade. Hey, maybe there's something here that you guys like that we can trade for Kyrie Irving. I'm pretty sure Mark Cuban's going to fight like hell on that if that's ever that situation. But Kyrie Irving's a free agent, as you said. There's still a possibility, especially now that they have building blocks there, especially adding Mo Bamba and Malik Beasley. Like you have some guys that can fill that void there on the bench. Maybe Kyrie Irving joins that, but the Lakers are better off than they were 24 hours ago. That's definitely the case.
Absolutely. Virtually night and day. Yeah.